All right. So for this episode of the First Hit Podcast, episode number 5, let's start off hockey. So no one's really playing a lot, really. I mean, we missed a few days, and some teams are kind of playing, some teams are getting postponed. We have no clue what's happening along the Canadian border. I think they're gonna play each other, right, for a bit. So here's the issue. The Islanders play a stretch where they play Edmonton, Vancouver, and Calgary in a row to start their January. Now they're also not going to play Edmonton again, right, this weekend coming. So odds are they're only going to play the Sabres at most. And that game might get postponed due to COVID. So the Islanders might miss 5-6 games in a row now. Now, do you guys think the league's going to try to reschedule something, or what do you think's going to go on here?
Oh, I mean, they have to reschedule something.
I mean, they can't have a team be healthy and not play, right?
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but they've also done it last year.
Yeah.
So the hope would be that maybe you do push a game a day forward or two, or maybe you get a game from a week from now with another healthy team, and you'd say, all right, well, would you guys agree to play, let's say it's a week away, you play 3 to 4 days away from now.
Yeah.
That would be the smartest thing in terms of keeping the fresh teams still in, and teams that are still as COVID-free active, and also keeping your ratings somewhat up. I mean, that's been a big thing for hockey is their ratings. I mean, they don't really have the luxury like the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA people are going to watch no matter what. But, I mean, I'm trying to look around and see if any other Eastern team has any games against the Islanders, let's say, right? For scheduling, maybe you could push some other games back a bit, right? Push some games forward, it would work out. I thought maybe, I looked at the Rangers schedule. They play a West Coast trip over the same time, so that doesn't really work out. Penguins and Flyers don't, right? I'm checking the Hurricanes right now, but I don't think it matches up well. Yeah, so the Hurricanes do play Vancouver, but it's a bit too late. It's on the 15th, which means that game probably is not going to happen anyway. But, I mean, how many games do the Canadian teams really have left against each other, right? They could probably play for 2-3 weeks, but after that, right? I mean, what are you even looking at that point?
Yeah. It's just unfortunate because I don't think anyone saw this happening where they could have just made the Canadian division again. Division again. No.
And then messed up the East, yeah. I would have loved to play Boston right now. Not really.
I know.
Yeah. Maybe the Sabres again. That would be nice.
Sabres 25 times?
Yeah, 90% of your wins are against them. I mean, that division was so bad. It was Sabres, Devils. Everyone beat them up, right? And that was it. The Rangers missed it because they didn't have enough games against them. That's literally it. If you give the Rangers, look at the Rangers now, right? I mean, to be fair, I think half the league isn't healthy. And the Rangers are, for the most part. I think they've had one COVID issue, missed one game, but then they came back all healthy. So the issue with the Rangers now, I guess, is Lafreniere and Capo, right? I mean, so your goalies have kind of been good, right?
Yeah, very good. Definitely.
Yeah, so let's look at Lafreniere first, right? So the guy has 8 points in 30 games, 6 goals, 2 assists. He's a -4, and he has 13 penalty minutes. His shooting percentage is kind of high at 15%, but compared to Kreider's 20%, I don't think it matters. So he's not really producing, but he's not horrible, right? I mean, you could argue the 21 points last year in 56 games. He's probably not going to be a complete bust, but his lack of defensive ability combined with the low point totals, it's a little iffy. I mean, he's only 20, but what do you think, Jonathan? I mean, you watched Rangers somewhat, so
Yeah, well, obviously the lack of production is a little bit concerning, but like as it pertains to the current team and this season, they've got some good production on the left wing. Obviously, Artemi Panarin's the star at the center. Chris Kreider is having a really great year, and also you have to take into effect Dryden Hunt's been doing a good job on the third and fourth lines. He provides a sort of toughness that they were looking for last year, while giving some offensive ability.
We also kind of knew that Panarin would produce enough, right? Like we knew Panarin would be a point per game player, and knowing that as a given, we knew players around him would get better. But Lafreniere and Capo really aren't playing with Panarin like at all. And I think if they played with him, they get a real boost in production. But you kind of have to earn those minutes, right? Like you don't want to just throw them up there. Plus 2 wings, right? You can't put 2 wings, 3 wings together, right? So, I mean, you could. They won't win a face-off, but you could. So Panarin has 33 points, 9 goals, 24 assists, 29 games. He's doing very well. A lot of his production's on the power play, right? More than half his points are on the power play. He's on a bit of a rough stretch right now, but I think it's just that little West Coast zone, Arizona and Colorado, right? But to be fair, he also hasn't played I don't think anyone's played in like 15 days, so that is what it is.
It's been
Capo Caco has 10 points in 26 games. A bit better than than Lafreniere, but I mean, it's not, top 3 overall pick type stuff, right? I mean, he was picked 2nd overall, right? So, and he's also on a rough stretch where he only has 2 points in his last 5 games, and those are both in the same game.
Yeah.
And unlike Lafreniere, last season he was worse by a good amount. So, I mean, it's iffy, right? You really don't want to see this out of them, and you don't want to have to call them busts when they're only 20 years old. But, especially Capo Caco, he's had parts of 3 seasons. He's had he played 140 games in the NHL, right? I mean, you would hope by now he would start producing, but he just hasn't. Now the Rangers, right now they're in a good spot because of goaltending, right? And I mean, Adam Fox and Panarin. That's literally it. That's Kreider, right? You take out those 4 players, or even like 1 or 2 of them, injuries, whatever, COVID, you never know. I can't see them winning. I can't. Like right now, like they're so dependent on those 4 guys to produce offense and to play good defensively. I don't know if they could handle losing one of them.
I guess to kind of counter, around like the beginning of this month, I feel like such a long time ago, but they lost Shesterkin. He went down for like 10 days, and they had to go to Georgiev, and they were able to kind of swim rather than sink in that stretch of games. I think they can kind of weather it, but like you said, if it's something happens to a guy like Panarin or Adam Fox, it might be more difficult for us.
If you lose Panarin, I don't think you're producing enough offense to make up for because I mean, let's be honest. If your goalie, let's be honest, he's been good, right? He's been very good this season, but career-wise, I question if this is like a long-term thing for him or just a 1-year, off thing. Plus, he's playing with a far better offense in front of him than he has his whole career. So, I mean, puck possession-wise, he's not really seeing a lot of shots. Losing a guy like Panarin, who carries the puck a lot, that could hurt. I mean, you're going to play worse defense without Panarin just because he doesn't have the puck on the offensive zone. Possession-wise, you're going to lose a lot of possessions. And, I mean, Panarin's power play ability, you're losing that. Now, that might cost you maybe 1 shorthanded goal a year, 2 shorthanded goals a year. But overall, the lack of offense on the power play without him, I mean, that's pretty concerning. But overall, I mean, the Rangers are in a good spot right now. And I think they could afford to lose a few games if something goes wrong. And they should be playing. So unlike a few of these teams, they have games lined up that they could play. And I mean, they win tonight, right? They're in first place in the division.
Yep.
So I mean, it's something. I mean, those three teams are pretty crowded. But I mean, really four, right?
Yeah,
Pittsburgh's right there, 39 points. You got to watch how many games in hand, though, the bottom four teams kind of build up. I wouldn't be worried about the Devils, though. They kind of lost 6 straight going into that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Flyers, maybe. The Blue Jackets, I can't see doing anything. I mean, if the Islanders are healthy, I could see them going on a run, but I don't think they're going to be healthy for the year. I just can't see it. Right? Between them still pulling guys off for COVID and defensive issues, like Pellick's out somewhat here and there. And then you have Pulak, who hasn't played in what feels like forever to an Islanders fan. I mean, Keith, what do you think about the Islanders' defensive structure without Pulak right now?
I mean, without just look at the beginning of the season when they were starting all AHL guys, and then now it's obviously a big difference to what they had last year.
Yeah.
He's a big two-way defenseman. Like, he generates some of their offense. He helps out Pellick on defense. Without him, without your arguably best or second best defenseman, you're gonna struggle.
I mean, the one good thing
it's no
is like,
surprise.
yeah, I think we've seen a bit of Noah Dobson coming out a bit, right? 10 points this season on 24 games, a lot of power play production. I mean, he's been good defensively, and considering that he's 21, you're hoping he can make the next step. But you don't want to have to rely on guys like Dobson and Mayfield as your 1 and 2 defensemen at
Definitely
times.
not Mayfield.
I mean, Mayfield's not bad as your third pair.
No.
He's not bad as your third
Pretty
pair.
good third pair, actually.
And you could live with him as your second pair here and there. But if he's your first pair defenseman or even second pair top guy on the second pair, you're losing a lot of games. I mean, you know that already from watching him play. He's good enough defensively. He won't embarrass himself on offense that often. And he has a nice shot when he shows it off, which is almost never. But he's not really a guy you can depend on because he'll do some stuff that's like, why'd you do it?
Yeah,
Right?
like
He'll
break
have
your stick on the most important play of your life.
Yeah. But I was like, I mean, he's done a few of those. Like his stick always seems to break. He has this long handled stick. It's so weird. And it's
He
like
needs that reach.
he needs the reach. But I mean, he just does it. He breaks it all the time. Like every other defenseman doesn't break it as much as him.
Dude's got like an 8-inch extension on it. Probably has like a 50 flex stick.
Yeah. And he has like a weird he has like almost like an Ovechkin curve on the he used to have an Ovechkin curve on the stick on the blade for a bit.
Why would you
I
use
don't
one
know.
as a defenseman?
Yeah, I don't know why he needs one as a defenseman, but he had one of those for a bit. And that's when like his shot was decent. But then he like got rid of it and he started breaking more sticks. So I question if he just doesn't know how to play with what he has right now. But I don't know.
As a manufacturer, new year, new sticks, shit material. I
don't know.
Like, even I don't break sticks.
Yeah. I mean, Adam Pellick, when he breaks a stick, he's better without a stick.
Well, yeah, outfielder Adam, soccer star Adam.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, Pellick's kind of the superhuman. He's played 22 of their 26 games this year. And when he hasn't played, it's been bad. I think they've lost all 4 games, got blown out in 2 of them. I mean, when he's out there, they're a far better team. The one advantage to this right now is that they're seeing a bit of guys like Robin Salo, right? But really, you can't live with Green and Chara in the lineup together every day. Like, I don't even think you could live with Chara anymore at all. Like, he's been like the worst player in the league.
He's a good enough guy if you need to give someone the day. Healthy scratch load management.
If he's
good
your
enough,
seventh,
you can put him in for that day. That's it.
He's a 7th defenseman at best. I don't think he's even like. Let's check his stats right now. I think it's been horrifically bad. I mean, at least they're paying him nothing. So
that's true.
So he has 2 points in 23 games, both assists. He's a -1. 57 penalty minutes. That's mostly fights. At least he's winning the fights too. That's really it. Fights. That's all he's kind of providing at
Good.
this
He'll be a
point.
great fit for Bridgeport. Send him down.
Yeah, very fit. I mean, Bridgeport could use him. I don't know. They might send up like Grant Hutton again. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good when he was up. He also looked good compared to the rest of the AHL squad.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, he's probably almost NHL ready. I know right now they have a taxi squad again. And of course, Michael Doug Cole's on it. So, I mean, Doug Cole isn't bad as an AHL player. He's just not good as an NHL player at all. Now,
It happens.
it happens to guys. Like some guys can produce at the lower levels and they just can't do anything, right? At the higher levels. I mean, I don't know what's up with that, but usually you see that with like a defenseman that produces points to lower levels and can't produce up. But with a winger, it's kind of, I mean, Doug Cole's 25, right? He was a 5th overall pick. Now, I mean, when you drafted him, you could kind of see why, right? He was producing a lot. He was scoring a ton, but he needed a lot of time for that wrist shot. Now that he's at the NHL level, I mean, he has 6 points in 8 games for Bridgeport this year, but I mean, that's not even like you want a guy to be putting up a point per game, really. In
Well, he's
Bridgeport.
still playing well defensively though.
Yeah, of course he is.
Okay, so I mean, you can kind of give him a little bit of a break for that, at least.
I mean, he's a good defensive forward. We figured that out at least. He works hard. And he's a bigger guy, right? So he lays a few guys out here and there. But he's not good enough defensively to play a Matt Martin, Zizekas role at all. Clutterbuck even, right? He's good enough where he's like almost there, but he's not going to develop into that. And then when you combine that with him putting up less offense at the NHL level than Martin, Zizekas, or Clutterbuck, which is kind of hard to do. I mean, the guy puts up less offense than Clutterbuck, right? Like, who the hell puts up less offense than Cal Clutterbuck consistently, right?
Half the Blackhawks roster right now.
I mean, the Blackhawks suck right this year, but
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think the off-ice issues with the Blackhawks, I mean, the on-ice doesn't even matter at this point. It just is what it is. The
Yeah.
Hawks just are dumpster fire.
At least Doc didn't die yet, so
Yeah,
pretty good.
Kirby Doc. Great player. Not yet, but he will be great. Like,
He's doing better than Lafreniere, so
well, I mean, it's not that hard.
and he's doing better than Capo.
Yeah.
Is
I
he
mean,
doing better
he's
than Hughes? Probably not.
Hughes. Let's see what he's doing. Let's pull up his stats. I mean, Hughes was the first overall pick in that draft. So Hughes has 8 points in 13 games, so he hasn't been healthy.
Hmm.
But he has 8 points. So
I mean,
but he's
Doc's
also
Doc's got 13. He's got 13 and 30. So you know.
yeah, the ratio, right? But
Yeah.
still. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Hey, at least he got into 30 games and didn't get hurt. That's all I'm happy about.
I mean, it's good news.
Yeah. Now he's gonna go die at the Olympics probably. If
I
we're
wouldn't.
sending
I
NHL
wouldn't.
guys.
I
Are we
wouldn't be
sending
surprised.
NHL guys?
No, I don't think so.
I don't
Right?
even think he mixed roster anyway. Let's be honest.
Probably not. I mean, I can't see it anymore. I mean, I think they might send like some of the guys want to play still.
Yeah.
But after what happened at the juniors, the U20, I can't see that happening. I mean, Team USA gets what, 2 positive COVID tests, and then they just forfeit a very winnable game for them. Like that shouldn't happen, but it sucks
It's
for.
unfortunate.
It's just unfortunate. This is not good. You want to see these guys play, and I mean, these are the best guys for their age, right? And I don't think any of these guys are going to have problems with COVID. I mean, you never know, but these guys are tough guys. And I mean, the one good thing we got to see out of the juniors so far, though, is Connor Bedard with that 4-goal game yesterday. But I mean, he's been great. He's doing better than the projected first overall picks from years ahead of him, years before him, right? So like Shane Wright this year, he's doing better than him, which is a little scary. You got a question, right? Is it worth tanking for him already? Like thinking about, hey, what if I just like sell now, make the team be really, really bad for that year, right? I mean, the guy's only 16, but if he might be that good, you got to start thinking, right? Like if he's a McDavid level guy, which he might be, it's possible. I mean, other first overall picks usually like they're gonna peak out as like a first line solid to above average guy. Some are gonna peak out as like a superstar here and there, right? But they're not gonna be like they're gonna be a 90-point guy probably, right? On average.
Yeah, fair enough.
You get a few that break the 100-point barrier here and there. You get a few that like are on the 80, 70-point one. And you'll get a few that are like 50-point guys their whole career for a long career. But I mean, if you get a McDavid type, that alone, right? If you can even come close to replicating McDavid, right? That's the perfect player. That's what you need. If any team, like having a guy like that allows you to like play a defensive third and fourth line, right? That doesn't really produce on offense as much.
Imagine if you get him a guy like Draisaitl too.
Yeah, I mean,
or someone even half as decent as Draisaitl. Damn.
I mean, Draisaitl's great. Before they got McDavid, you could always question him a bit early on. I remember some guys were like, was it worth the pick? But then the second you put him with McDavid, you kind of knew like the talent for both of those guys is amazing. I think Draisaitl has more points, right?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked Edmonton in a while.
I think they did for a bit. Let's see. Let's pull Draisaitl stats. I mean, McDavid's still the best in the world, right? No matter who leads the league in points. I think that's very obvious. So McDavid has 49. Draisaitl has 49.
Look at that.
In the same number of games. McDavid has more assists. But yeah, that's.
Which is a little bit more surprising. I thought would be Draisaitl.
No, I think Draisaitl's been the scorer on that line.
You'd think it'd be the other way around though. I mean, Draisaitl was drafted for his playmaking.
Yeah, you would think.
He's a playmaking X factor in shell.
I think McDavid's a bit quicker, so.
That's true.
But
I think what it is, you probably just draw everyone to McDavid can go through 4 guys, so you could still put 4 guys on him, leave Draisaitl wide open. He just dishes across, and that's it.
I think Draisaitl's winning a one-on-one with like every defenseman in the league, except maybe like a Pelech type here and there. That's really it. Like
Mark Method comes out of retirement, locks him down.
He would cut off his finger.
That too.
The Sidney Crosby effect. But yeah, I mean, McDavid is the best player in the league, but Draisaitl, at least when playing with McDavid, puts up about the same numbers. Now, I would question, like, you put a Panarin type with McDavid, he's probably putting up the same number of points, right? You throw in, I mean, especially the other difference is a very offensive system, right? Like Edmonton runs probably the most offensive system on the planet that I've seen outside of maybe, I don't even know, right? Like this.
It's a different level.
It's yeah, they run such an offense. I think maybe like Olympic Team Canada, right? World Classic type stuff with Team Canada. That's the only place where you'll see offense like that. And that's because those are the same guys playing.
Oh, not only that, but when you're throwing out Duncan Keith onto the ice, I don't know how much defense you expect.
I mean, yeah, they're also playing they're playing all-star game offense. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're playing all-star game style offense, and it's working. Like a lot of it's off the rush because McDavid and Draisaitl, right? Insanely quick guys. And then when you combine that with the fact that their power play is like the best in the world, possibly the best we've ever seen, right? Except maybe some of those Ovechkin years, right? I mean, their production is just insane.
It is.
And they've cooled off a bit, right? So, I mean, these are like, you have to question if one of these guys or both of them are going to approach the 150-point plateau this year. I mean, there was some talk with McDavid.
Barring COVID concerns, yeah, I think it's reasonable.
I mean, McDavid, right? He put up what 100 something last year in a very shortened season.
Yeah.
Let's check his stats. McDavid. Okay, let's see. Yeah, McDavid had 105 last year in 56 games. So he's approaching that 2 point per game level, right? I mean, he wasn't that far off last year. I mean, he put up what guys take like 2 seasons to put up on average in like a shortened season. And I mean, he has 49 points this year. I mean, it's not the same pace as last year, but if he goes on a run, he's the kind of guy that can average 3 points a game for like a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? Like even a month or two. If he plays the right teams, he could just go off.
I don't even think it's playing the right teams. I mean, we've seen him destroy good teams.
Yeah, he just has
No, not in a series, of course, but
no.
just on a game-to-game basis, he could pull it off.
He's the guy that could like he could almost call the play at this point, right? He's almost at the level where I wonder if he could just say, okay, I'm going to have a Hattie today. I decided I was going to shoot more, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if he could literally do that. Just say, yeah, I feel like having 3 assists tonight. Like, he probably could. Like, he would have to think about it and like intentionally make maneuvers that he wouldn't make. But what makes him great is that it looks like so natural to him, right? Like everything. Like the things he does, especially like, remember that goal against the Rangers?
He's the smoothest player in the league, no doubt.
I remember my uncle was telling me, right? He might have like the best hands of any hockey player ever. The only player that comes close is Patrick Kane.
He's got the speed over Kane's. That's what makes
Yeah.
him more lethal.
I mean, you combine the speed with the hands, right? And then you have to think this guy, like his hockey sense is obviously insane, right?
I mean, forget the hands, just with his speed alone, he'd be dangerous.
Fastest player in the league, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
second.
I think
now.
Somewhat.
And probably, let me guess, there's probably someone out there who's not an all-star who's faster than him.
Probably some Grabner type.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There has to be at least 2 of those kind of guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think they timed Barzal at around the same speed as McDavid, but Barzal's hands aren't the same.
No.
Like he's good.
He's more of like an edge work.
Yeah.
I don't want to say power forward, but
he's working towards that. If he gets a little bigger, he'll hit that zone. He's good at like finding his spot and kind of driving in, taking 2 guys with him, and then setting up offense.
Yeah.
With Anders Lee in the middle. That's the ideal Islanders offense. Put Lee right down the middle. You want Wallstrom on the other side, but they haven't really done that yet. You do that, that's a perfect Islanders offense. But I mean, what Edmonton's done, that offense is not human. Imagine if you throw like Adam Pelech on the team. I don't think they'd lose a game.
No,
they lose games.
Let's just say Duncan Keith's no Pulak. Nors
Yeah, true. I mean
that's what makes the Islanders special.
Well, I mean,
they're top 4.
Remember when they threw Pelech with Chara for a bit because they needed him. He had to babysit him. That's what it was like. He was babysitting Chara. That's what they would have him do with Keith. That's what it's like, babysitting. It's embarrassing, but it's what they did.
Here you go, old man. Don't turn over the puck. You'll be fine.
Yeah, all he has to do is like not turn over the puck and not make like stupid defensive plays. Essentially, and like he's a big guy, right? Just get in the way of shots wherever you can.
Yeah, then screen your own goalie in the process. Way to go.
Yeah, that's what he does. He ends up screening the goalie. And Sorokin's not a big goalie, right? No. Sorokin's actually kind of small, but he's doing well, right? I mean, he's probably the number 1 starter right now, right? I mean, I would think he's
about number 1, but
I think he's number 1 over Varley.
Oh, we're just talking about the Islanders. Yeah. They meant the league, I was gonna say.
The league, he's probably top 5.
Nah, I can give you that.
If he's starting every day, yeah, top 5. I mean, we know he was the best goalie outside of America for like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in Russia, he put up like some of the best stats anyone's ever seen. I mean, he had some issues early on transitioning to the NHL, but it looks like he's coming around. And I mean, he's the guy that could like go on a stretch and shut out a team like 3 times in a 5-game series. Right? Like he could literally just win the first 3 games and that's it. Like we've seen him have like 2-3 shutouts in a row where it's like, that's not human. If he can keep on stealing a few games and the Islanders get healthy, they'll put themselves back in wild card contention at least. I don't think they'll make the playoffs at this point because I mean, it's hard to come back from a stretch like this. But I mean, to be fair, the Blues did it, right?
Yeah, but I think there was also a different.
Well, I think they had Tarasenko come back, right?
Well, not only Tarasenko, but what happens if more players go out with COVID?
Yeah, then you're screwed anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this year is such a weird year. Like it's not like you're planning for injured guys to return, right? You're not doing that. You're planning for you're hoping guys don't get COVID,
Exactly.
which is it's impossible to predict. All you can say is like, hey, don't do this, and then if they do it, it's
It
like
doesn't
okay,
matter because if someone on the other team does it, next thing you know, you come into contact with someone on the other team and you got it.
yeah,
Fine.
it's done. Yeah, you're done. Yeah, I mean, the only teams, if you look at the teams to be affected the least, are mostly the teams at the top. Exception being like the Capitals, I think. But it sucks either way for everyone. I mean, Wallstrom just got COVID, right? He has 15 points, 26 games, 8 goals on the season. He's been their power play menace this year, which without Barzal for a bit, I mean, it sucks to lose him too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was, and you know what sucks? Trotz can't give him any minutes. Wallstrom has been getting like 8 minutes, 10 minutes a night at most, as like one of their most productive forwards. And they've been giving guys like Palmieri like full time, and he's been doing nothing. And it's like it really sucks for them, but it's some of it's coaching at this point, right? You have to look at it and say, hey, listen, you have a guy who's producing, and this is the one spot where like, okay, you got to give the guy more minutes. Like I know he can't play defense, but the team isn't playing defense anyway at this point, right? Like if your number 3 defenseman is Chara, you're not playing defense anymore, right? You're just like, you got to produce on offense. And not giving Wallstrom minutes, that's just not helping them. I mean, Beauvillier too, right? Beauvillier hasn't really been himself this year. He has 8 points in 24 games. I mean, he's going to probably step it up a bit, but I mean, maybe there's no Anna Kendrick motivator for him, but yeah. I mean, he's just not the same guy he was. Like he was at least half a point per game player minimum with good clutch goal scoring, and he hasn't been that. So it kind of sucks for him. I mean, Barzy even hasn't been a point per game guy. He hasn't touched that since his rookie year. I mean, you would like him to, but in the defensive system, he probably can't. I mean, he's been good. He just hasn't been great, you know? Anyway, the last guy to talk about for hockey, once again, is Michael Del Cole. So Del Cole, I mean, he's probably going to play quite a bit, you would think, right? I mean, with everyone out due to COVID, if they end up playing a game, he's probably going to play. 6 points, 8 games in Bridgeport last season. But see, in the NHL level, he had that one season that he played 53 games. He put up 10 points. That's really bad. And then he put up 4 in 26. So he just can't produce at the NHL level. Like we just haven't seen any of it. And he's 25. So clearly he's probably never going to live up to that 5th overall pick unless he suddenly like gets plugged in the lineup and becomes a 90-point player. But his shot isn't there. I mean, Keith, what do you think about his shot, right? Because we've seen him try to do it and he just turns over the puck.
He takes too long with it. He doesn't have confidence in himself. That's what it seems like, at least. I mean, I know as a player, I've been there before, where just anything you do with the puck, you feel like you're doing it terribly and become a little self-conscious. Next thing you know, every time you try a shot, it gets blocked. I mean, every time I try to walk the line, next thing I know, I take a shot, it gets blocked by the forward flying at me, and it's going back down the ice the other way. So it's just a confidence thing, I think. For everything, like for what he was projected to be, and then for what he actually turned out to be, that's the only thing I can think of.
Do you think he could still turn into like a 40-point per game productive forward?
How
No.
old is he now? He's at least what, 23?
25. 25.
There you go.
Yeah, he's done.
If he was still 23, I think I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. 24, 25. That's typically when you stop developing. So I think he's done.
I mean, worst case scenario, he becomes a AHL Hall of Famer. Imagine making that. You know, those guys are still like those guys still have great careers.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, I think it is. Let's check
Oh my
that.
god.
Yeah, there is one.
Oh my god. Is there an ECHL one too? Do we just have one for each freaking league?
Oh my god, I think there is. Yeah, there is. Wow.
What's that? What's the SPHL, right? That's what it's called?
Want to look that up?
I think it's called the SPHL.
Oh my god.
No way. There's definitely not one for the
No,
SPHL.
no,
Okay, good.
no.
I was gonna say.
Let's check the ECHL Hall of Fame first.
But do we even know any names in that?
No, we don't. Let me look up like the first. Let me look up. Okay, the first player that comes out, his name is Cam Brown. Let's look up his name. You get a football player.
Get a what team does he play for?
Giants.
The Giants.
Okay, I put in elite prospects. Let's see what comes up.
Oh boy.
If anything.
LDP. No, there's gotta be something. Come on. He's in the ECHL Hall of Fame.
Oh, so what comes up is I don't even know if this is the right player because this guy he's playing in like the foreign leagues right now. Yeah, but he put up 53 points in the ECHL in 1 year. Another season he put up 37. Another year he put up 41. He played a few AHL games and like was really bad.
You know who's going to the Hall of Fame, the ECHL Hall of Fame?
You?
That guy, no, not me. Maybe. We'll see. Probably not.
Yeah.
No, the guy who was traded for Fleury, he's going to the ECHL Hall
Yeah.
of Fame.
Hey, this guy actually had good numbers in Denmark, which I don't even know. I don't even know if Denmark has a league. Like, no one watches Denmark. It's not like Sweden or
Isn't that?
I mean,
Germany's the Dell.
the Dell, yeah.
I thought that was Denmark for a half second.
I think the tiers of foreign leagues are like you got the KHL on top, right?
Well, of course, yeah.
Then you got like Sweden, probably.
It'd probably be like the SHL, the Liga de Dell, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the Dell is iffy, but
Well,
you could
also
argue
what tier you play in the Dell too.
I mean, you got the Swiss league, right? That's up there.
I actually should give that a little bit more respect.
Because I mean, the thing about that league is that league benefits from like NHL lockdowns too much.
Yeah.
Right. Like you look at the years where they have NHL lockdowns and kind of get a massive because all the players want to go play there.
I mean, what's his name? Kubalik came from there.
Yeah. I think Tavares played in the Swiss league for a bit. One of the lockouts. But yeah, I mean, foreign leagues are kind of. I mean, the second tier, the Sweden league, hockey. What is it? Avaleskan, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Avaleskan, whatever. Something like that.
What's the new one? It's called like Ice or something. It's stupid. I've seen it in the Chell games. It might not even be a real thing. Who knows? It could be something EA just made up.
It looks real.
It looks real. I send
it looks
like a
like
scout there, and hopefully they find someone good.
It's an Austria league that also has a Czech Republic team, Hungary team, Italy. Yeah, it's like a mixed league.
All right. What's one that's pretty bad that I remember from Chell?
I mean, you could be like Jaromir Jagr playing in
he's playing since like at 80.
You know what's sad? He's still the team's #1 producer.
You know what's gonna be even sadder? He's not gonna retire ever.
You know what though? It's because he owns the team.
Yeah.
Right? He owns the team and he has to keep on playing for like sponsorship money. So he's like never gonna stop playing. He's gonna play until he like dies.
Seriously.
Yeah. And he's still gonna be productive. He's gonna put up like a point per game at 90 years old.
He's gonna have freaking heart attack on the bench and play the next game.
Probably has. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so this like league seems like so that ice hockey league you talked about.
Yeah.
That's like an Austrian like betting sports game. Like you bet on the games live type thing.
Oh my god.
So it's basically a bet sponsored league.
Are we going there? Are we going to Austria and starting betting on not no, semi-pro games or whatever?
They're considered pro.
They're
They're
considered
considered
pro.
pro.
Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
I mean, who even watches like you? Maybe if you live in the area, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean, you go to it's like probably like paying to go to like an ECHL game, like almost nothing, right? Just
Yeah,
show
you're
up.
paying like $5, you get like front row tickets.
Yeah,
Popcorn's like 2 cents.
yeah. Negative $5.
Yeah, they're
Get the
paying
back row.
you. They're paying you to come in. They're like, here's $2. Come watch
Yeah.
a game.
Let me look at the AHL Hall of Fame now.
There was another league. I can't think of it. That sounded really stupid. Oh no, it's not that it was a stupid. It was a stupid name. The CHL. The CHL and the CHL. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna play in the CHL. Oh, it's cool. You're playing juniors? No.
Yeah, oh yeah, the other one, yeah. That was so
The
weird.
Champions Hockey League. Well, who names their league the Champions Hockey League? Come on now.
I mean, is this still running? Yeah, it is,
Oh, it
right?
has to be, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like a weird European league. There's a few of those. It's like is there one in China? Yeah, there is, right?
It has to be. I wouldn't be surprised. What's his name? Who's the guy who played? I feel like a lot of players go to China. Or
Yeah, I mean,
like there's a few names that I can't think off the top of my head, but I've heard.
there's also like there's like an Italian league. There's a few like local. Almost every European country has like a localized
Yeah,
league.
it's like a regional thing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now I guess since we ended this with an amazing conversation, starting with the AHL Hall of Fame.
Oh boy.
I think that's it for the hockey segment. May Doc Cole make it there to the hall one day. You know, the AHL one.
Maybe.
Maybe. He probably
we're
if he plays for like 10 more years at the AHL level, he's gonna make it.
Yep.
I mean, if he's a point per game player down there, right? He's a Hall of Famer.
If he wins that, what's their championship? The Calder Trophy, right?
No, that's the
Or
rookie
Cup?
one.
No,
Calder.
Cup.
Calder.
No, it
Calder
is.
Cup, really? It
It's
is.
the same. I swear to God, look it up. I just said the wrong name the first time. Unless they changed the name of it. And the ECHL is the Kelly Cup.
Oh, it is Calder Cup.
Yeah, you
Wow.
idiot.
Yeah.
You're making fun of me. Like, all right, it's a trophy. That's my fault. I corrected myself.
Yeah. I mean, some of those guys that win the Calder Cup, they go on to win the Calder Trophy.
Yeah, who?
I wonder. We should look that up. There's probably a stat somewhere, like one guy to
Look it up, because I don't think anyone has. Or not recently, at least.
Most of them come from the CHL or
Did
the foreign
Kaprizov
league.
play in the AHL, actually? No, he was just overseas the whole time. Because, I mean, Kaprizov's like 80 years old.
No, it's been mostly foreign players. That's why. Did you get guys like, and it's mostly CHL guys that win it.
Exactly.
And a few like foreign guys. There's a few like guys that I would question could. Here's a chance. Okay.
Because, I mean, you have to not only be rookie of the year, but you also have to have your AHL team win a championship. I think that's pretty hard to do back-to-back seasons.
But yeah,
pretty much.
also before you get called up, right?
Yeah.
So you can't win it. Yeah. So that's a really tough situation. You have to be able to be good enough to win the championship, and they have to leave you there, right? They can't call you up.
You have to pretty much win the championship, go into training camp the next year, take some kind of steroids, magically be better than everyone else, and then win Rookie of the Year. Pretty much straight out of training camp, just be a GOAT. Just have a balanced breakfast or something. You'll be fine.
I found a maybe. Let me check.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Who is it?
So Andrew Raycroft, he played a bit
my
at the
God.
he played a bit at the NHL level, and then he got put back down to the minors for a long time. It seems like he didn't win.
Raycroft, he was a goalie, right?
Yeah, goalie.
Yeah.
But I think they made the playoffs that year, the AHL team. So he came close to actually doing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't even think of anyone because most guys their rookie year they're already in the show.
Yeah, usually. I mean, yeah, I think that's it. You gotta look for guys that were a bit older when they won it. Oh, he's 31. The Russian guy, Sergei Makarov,
He was 30 when he won it.
31 when he won the Calder.
Huh?
It's sad. That's
Who
sad.
came
Yeah.
in? Does it say who came in second that year and how old
I'll
they
pull
were?
I'll pull it up.
And also, what was their stats that year to be 30 and win a Rookie of the Year trophy? Like, he must have been the best rookie, like, by far.
He put up 86 points.
Oh my God! In 82 games?
80.
80?
Yeah.
Who came in second? Jeez,
I'm trying to figure that out.
that must have been a year where just the rookies are garbage.
Okay, Mike Modano
Won both, or he came in second.
came in second.
You let Mike Fadano come in second. What the fuck? Oh my God!
And
That's
he put up
terrible.
he put up 75 points that year.
And they gave it to a 31-year-old?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And he was 19.
Ridiculous.
There's a lot of there's oh my God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 guys that put up over 60 points that year.
That weren't 31 years old.
Yeah, that all of them
How
were
much did he pay to win that trophy?
6 guys between 19 and 21. And that's not fair.
He definitely paid somebody.
Yeah, there's no way he didn't. That's not fair.
He went to each individual voter's
The
house and
oldest-
said, "I will kill you if you don't vote for me."
They gave a 31-year-old New Jersey Devils defenseman a vote.
Yeah, a single vote.
Vyacheslav.
Was that number 1 vote or no?
No, third place vote.
At least that's respectable.
Yeah, that's like a respected vote, right? Like, here, you did good. Here's a vote. But that's not like, oh my God, that's disgusting. But
I feel so bad for Mike Modano now.
yeah, poor guy. That's something you should go back and say, give him an honorary one. Like this
Speaking
very
about honorary Rookie of the Years,
monkey.
I had to.
I mean, okay, I think that's it for this segment.
I think that might be it
let's-
for our podcast. We're running 47 minutes here, buddy.
Okay, so that's it for this one great hockey podcast. May Mike Modano have a good memory.
And not be
Give us
dropped
a
by the
bing bong.
MTs.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, someone should go look back at that. That's really messed up.
I'll put a photo up.
Yeah, he needs a photo for that.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's it for this podcast. See you guys on the next one.